Welcome back to David Docker. I just finished Alien Covenant by Ridley Scott, came out in 2017, and I have now watched all six of the current Alien films as of today. I watched the first one last Monday, so I'm gonna rank them all. I think it's a fun thing. I'm kind of, it's in my headspace right now. I can't stop thinking about this series. I really enjoyed it. And yeah, I'm just gonna, rank them and talk about them. There's six of them. Yeah, there's six out currently. Romulus is coming out in August. Really excited for that. I wanted to watch all these before watching that, obviously. And yeah, I've watched, today is the 16th. I've watched 13 movies already, so I'm pretty impressed with myself. I wanted to watch, at least 25 movies this month. I'm on pace for, I think, 26. Yeah, something like that. But yeah, I'm gonna talk about the Alien movies. Let's just jump into it. I'm gonna go 6-1. Obviously, I want to talk about the worst one first, and then spend more time on the best one, in my opinion. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like and subscribe. Number 6, Alien Resurrection, came out in, I believe, 96, 95. Directed by some dude. I'm gonna put it up here. The picture here as well. Yeah, I think this one was the weakest. There's gonna be spoilers, of course, for all of these, but I think this one was the weakest. I think it was the weakest ensemble of characters because the Alien blueprint obviously is generally a cargo ship of something. The original one was cargo ship, the newest one, blah blah blah. But you had this cast of characters waking up from cryo sleep and they're disoriented and they're about to land on something. This one didn't really have that. This was clone Sigourney Weaver after dying in Alien 3, waking up in this scientific ship that was harboring a lot of xenomorphs, and then this group of pirates comes in and they're dealing with stuff. There was some fun sci-fi stuff in this, like the one guy with the gun arms was cool. The dude, what's his name? Rob Perlman. He had the cool thermos gun. I thought that was cool. But besides that, I think it kind of really murdered Ridley's character. I think honestly, I would have been fine with her dying in Alien 3, even though I didn't really like that death either. Yeah, I mean, the captain of the pirates I thought was really annoying. I thought Winona Ryder was okay. The reveal that she was a synthetic I thought was a little meh for me, a little bit. I don't really like that. She's probably my least favorite synthetic out of all the films. The xenomorphs look a lot better in this one than they did in Alien 3, because in Alien and Aliens, they're practical. In Alien 3, I think it's a mix of CG and practical, but it's mostly CG. It just makes it look really sloppy. I'll talk about that when I rank it. But yeah, Alien Resurrection, I thought was the weak. I gave it 2 stars on Letterboxd. I don't know. I was also kind of sleepy when I watched it, so I was drifting in and out of sleep. But that goes to show you that didn't really keep me up. I thought it was meh. I don't know. I just really didn't enjoy it. I think it really murdered Ridley's character. That she was that whole weird mother thing, and there's that weird fleshy xenomorph. I really did not like that at all. It gave me the heebie-jeebies, which I guess is, it's a horror film, but I don't know. I really did not like Resurrection. I definitely think it's the weakest of the 6. So yeah, I'm gonna give it 2. I'm not doing hot dogs. I'm just talking about it. But if I were to give it hot dogs, I would give it 2 hot dogs out of 5. Next up, number 5. I'm gonna go Alien 3. This one is also just really weird. I thought Aliens was really strong. This one follows it up. They kill Newt. They kill Hicks. They kill Bishop off screen. They were all on their way, and then evidently there was a xenomorph, the little grabby things. I don't think they ever named that. I'll put it up on the screen if they did, but I don't think they ever really named those things. I digress. But yeah, I enjoyed this movie. I thought this is a big step up from Resurrection, even though it came before it, but I just thought Resurrection was just terrible. I really did not like that movie, but I thought this movie was great. Really good cast. They had what's his name from Charles Dance. I thought he was great. His death was really early. But yeah, just killing Newt and Hicks off screen I thought was weird. Killing Bishop off screen was weird. The ending was really great. The human version of Bishop, I thought that was really cool. The one guy Morse, I thought he was really cool. He looks a lot like Christian Bale, which I thought was just I could stop thinking that when I watched it. But drowning it in lead, and then drowning the xenomorph in lead, and then coming out and attacking, and then when Ripley jumps into the fire and she grabs it out and she holds it close. I thought that was really cool. Not the way I would have liked her to go out. I thought that death was a little anticlimactic, and I didn't think it was as intense as she kind of deserved, being the leading woman in all 3 of those films. All 4 of them. But having such a great ending in Alien, having such a great ending in Aliens, and then just for her to die like that, I thought was a little mid. And then of course, resurrecting her in Resurrection, I just didn't really like it that much. But I enjoyed this movie. Prison thing, I thought that was cool. A much stronger cast of characters, even though you really only care about Morse, the black guy, and Ripley, and then you kind of care about Charles Dance's character, but then he dies really early. But yeah. Oh, and also another thing about Resurrection, I think it probably had the best body horror out of all of them. That's just another side point. Like I think it was a terrible movie, but in terms of like the gross, gory, kind of just disgusting things, like when she flames all of the failed clones, like I thought that was a really good scene, just like those really gross things, and then of course the fleshy humanoid xenomorph. I thought that was really icky, heebie-jeebie. But yeah, Alien 3, I enjoyed it, but I thought the death of Ripley was anticlimactic. Killing Newt, Hicks, and Bishop off screen I thought was a little mid. But yeah, I think it was all right. I enjoyed it. Okay, I enjoyed it. Yeah, I think I gave it like 4.5, 4 hot dogs out of 5 on Letterboxd, even though Letterboxd is stars, but I digress. Number 4 of my favorites, I think, is Aliens. I'm gonna go Aliens. I thought this one was great. This one, like the next 4, I think are fantastic. I think I gave them all at least 4.5, 5 stars out of 5. But I thought Aliens was great. Really good cast, like really good ensemble. I really enjoyed everybody. Bill Paxton especially. Game over, man. Game over, man. Game over. I thought that was great. This one was really like it gave me the heebie-jeebies. Like I thought that was good. Bishop, I think, is great. He's definitely my second favorite synthetic. I think I really enjoyed him. I like that opening sequence with him when Ripley finds out that he's in synthetic. I thought that was really neat. Like the whole the knife game and Bill Paxton like freaking out. Bill Paxton was great. He was the star of the show, I think, outside of Ripley, because Ripley always nails everything in the first 2. But yeah, I thought this one was great. They get the distress signal similar to the tones in Alien. Or no. Yeah, they get the distress signal similar to what happened in Alien and Covenant. But yeah, I thought this was great. Good ensemble. When they first get into the research facility and they see all like the crystallized humans, and then they see like the xenomorph crack out, like I thought that scene was fantastic. And I love that going forward from Aliens, like with like the military groups, like they have the camera views. I thought that just added so much more to the kind of like realism of this science fiction horror movie. I really enjoyed that. I forget the one dude, like the captain, because there was Hicks, there was the one science dude with the vest that worked for the company. Shit. There's the black dude with the cigar. I thought he was great. Like as soon as he gets out of crowd, he pops in the cigar. I thought he was a fantastic character. He was, like the Marine general. I thought he was awesome. It sucked that he died so early, but yeah. I mean, I thought this movie was great. Bishop was great. Newt kind of got on my nerves, just kind of being like Ripley, Ripley. That kind of bothered me a lot. But I really enjoyed this movie. I thought it was fun. Ripley obviously kicks ass as always. The mother xenomorph taking the elevator, I thought was hilarious. Like this one really, since there were more xenomorphs, like obviously in Alien, like there's just the one, and that makes it that much more scary. But with there being multiple, it kind of added like the Looney Tunes element of xenomorphs. Like I think they're just such goofy. They're just such goofy monsters. They kind of crack me up. And then like Ripley taking the elevator with Newt, and then the mother xenomorph taking it up, and then like Ripley sees that it's like dinging, and she looks in there, and then the doors open. It's the mother xenomorph. I'm like, dude, come on. And then when they they land back on the huge ship, and Ripley's like, Bishop, not bad for a robot, and then stabs Bishop. I thought that was cool. And then when Ripley gets in like the suit, in the beginning of the movie, she said, I've driven one of these things, and she gets in it, and then that's how she uses it to beat up the mother xenomorph. I thought that was really cool. This movie was just fun. There's some funny bits, some fun bits. Bishop was great, Ripley was great, Newt was okay, Hicks was cool. And like the opening, like the dream sequence that she had, I thought that really like set the tone for the film. I really enjoyed that bit. But yeah, I really liked Aliens. I think I gave this like 4.5 out of 5. It was great. Number 3, Prometheus, the prequel to all these films. Ridley Scott back in the saddle. James Cameron did Aliens. I thought he did a great job. And then Fincher did Alien 3. Like I thought it was cool that they kind of passed the baton in the directors, and you can kind of tell that. But I think James Cameron probably did the second best job in terms of like recreating the tones of Ridley Scott's original film. But now that Ridley Scott's back in the saddle with Prometheus, I thought this movie was great. David is far and away my favorite synthetic. I think Michael Fassbender is fantastic. I love him in anything he does. He's such a fantastic actor. But yeah, I mean, you got Charlize. She's, oh my gosh, she's so hot. And then Idris Elba, I thought he was great. This was another one, like a really strong ensemble, and it was cool. No Xenomorphs till the end, and I love a prequel that you can still enjoy. Like, obviously, I watched the previous four films before watching Prometheus, but I love a prequel where you can kind of watch it and still enjoy it. Like, you don't need to know anything about it. And he didn't have the Xenomorphs until the end, showing the humanoid, ancient people getting into that gun that you see on the original planet. Like, I thought that was just so cool. It's a very satisfying like build up. Like, you don't really expect it, but I mean, I knew it was coming. I guess like when they go through the tunnels and then they see like the guy that got his head lopped off, and then they go look at the head and it's the same helmet that was in that original ship from the first movie. Like, I thought that was just such a cool moment. Yeah, I mean, this is just a really satisfying movie, and I love, like, this is one of the better modern science fiction movies that I've seen. It came out in 2012, and I don't know, I think it utilized CGI really well. I don't know, this and Covenant are so like gorgeous, and I just really, I don't know. Like, I recently watched Arrival. I thought that movie was fantastic as well. That's a little less, it takes place on Earth the entire time, but I mean, these seem like the benchmark modern science fiction films because they take place in this reality. Like I don't really lump Star Wars into this kind of group. Like, I don't know. Just I like, I don't know. Like, I love Star Wars, but that's obviously taking place in a long, long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. But like, the look of this science fiction film just looks so good, and with Ridley Scott back in the saddle, you can really see kind of his vision for his franchise that he started. I just really enjoyed. I thought this film was awesome. It's like it feels disconnected from the other films, but it doesn't. Like, it ties it back in, and I think that just works really well. And yeah, it was a satisfying prequel. Like, you're just seeing all the things that you saw in the previous movies, and that's just like a really like, oh, it's that, and blah 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 blah. I just thought that was great. And just introducing alternative alien organisms was cool. Like, obviously it was the xenomorphs up till now, but then they have that little worm thing that goes into the guy with the glasses, and it like sucks him up, and then it births another thing, and then like the one geologist guy, like, he gets like the stuff in him and becomes like this weird, like, he kind of looks like the Sinestro from the Ryan Reynolds Green Lantern movie. I thought this movie was just so much fun. I really enjoyed it. David was great. He's great in Covenant as well. Like, Michael Fassbender is fantastic, and I just love the look of it. Like, all the ships look great, the CGI looks great, all like the advanced tech looks awesome. Like, I thought this movie just looked really cool and sleek, and it was awesome. I gave it 5 stars out of 5. I loved it. Number 2, Covenant. Just watched this one today, or Alien Covenant. This one was also fantastic. Following 10 years after Prometheus, and it opens up with Walter. The synthetic that looks exactly like David. He's a modernized version of it. It's a colonizer ship. Thought that was cool. They're always doing different things. Like, it's Marines, it's a cargo ship, it's a colonizer ship. I thought that was really cool. This ship looked great. It's Walter talking to Mother. Initiating. Really cool. Just there's just a lot of cool science fiction sequences in this film. And you're finally back with the xenomorphs. They land on the planet. They find David. They think that he's a good guy, but oh no, he wants to wipe out humanity. And he has like that really. There's some pretty cool, horror bits, like body horror bits, showing what he ended up doing to Elizabeth Shaw. Because, he said that she died in the crash, but he actually, made her this weird hybrid thing. I thought that was great. But yeah, seeing the Xenomorphs back was really cool. I think there were 3 in this movie. And they're just great. They're just such an iconic science fiction monster. I don't know. This movie was awesome. I just really enjoyed it. And Ridley Scott is awesome. Michael Fassbender is awesome. Yeah. And like that end, because you think that Walter killed David, he's like, oh, he expired, but obviously I was saying like the whole time, it's like, would they really kill David off camera? No, it ended up being Walter was David. And then when he puts Daniels and Tennessee in the cryo sleep, and Daniels has that that almost heart-to-heart moment with Walter where it's like, hey, will you help me build that log cabin? And he gives her that blank look, and then she realizes that it's David. I'm like, dude, that twist was so good. And I saw it coming, and I feel like if you watched the movie you would see it coming, but just to see it kind of confirmed, because Walter was helping them trap the xenomorph in the airlock in the terraforming bay, and I don't know, it just, the build up to that moment was great, and then him regurgitating xenomorph eggs at the end was really dope. And I'm really excited to see what Romulus does after this, because I'm curious to see if there's any relation to, because does that mean that David becomes the xenomorph mother? Like, I'm really curious to see how that happens. Yeah, I really have no idea. I'm just curious. Like this I don't know. I've really enjoyed watching this franchise, and I thought this movie was fantastic. It looked good. Had all the the beats of a classic science fiction horror movie. To have the Xenomorphs back was obviously great. And yeah, I mean, I gave this album 5 times out of 5. I really enjoyed Alien Covenant. And then number one, obviously the original. I was honestly debating putting Covenant above, but I really, after thinking, man, Alien just does it so well. It's just to come out in 1979. I love practical effects. Ridley Scott, in his prime back in that day. Sigourney Weaver, this is. I think this might have been. It's tough, but I think this might have been my favorite ensemble. You have Dallas, the level-headed looks like a guy from the Beatles, the captain. You have the guy with the hat who's always, mechanic, greasy, slimy guy, sweaty guy. I thought he was great. Yeah, I mean, this ensemble was just so strong. It's eerie. Just having one xenomorph I think makes it all the more scary because they're in this tight ship. He's picking them off one by one, and then Ripley's getting Jonesy. She's freaking out, and then that twist in the end when she gets into the escape pod and then like the xenomorph reaches its hand out, and then she's like sneakily getting the suit on, and then she's like using the gases, and then she releases them into space. I thought that was so awesome. I thought this movie was great. All the classic Ridley Scott crossfades were great. I mean, this movie just looks fantastic, and I just love 20th century sci-fi. Like I love Star Wars, I love Alien, I love 2001: A Space Odyssey. Just like the use of practical effects in science fiction is just such a lost art. And obviously CG, it's art. I mean, you could argue that it's maybe cheaper. I'm not really sure what the whole price is with that, but I don't know. The look of practical effects it just feels right. Like you can obviously tell that it's practical effects, but it just adds to the campiness of the science fiction. And I just think there needs to be more campy science fiction movies, more campy science fiction horror movies. Like Alien just looks so great, and it's so rewatchable, and it just has that feel to it that. I love Covenant, I love Prometheus, I love Aliens, but I feel like none of these have kind of returned to the form that Alien had. And I'm curious to see how Romulus does, because it seems to have similar beats from what I've seen to the original Alien. But yeah, I mean, Alien, you can't beat it. It's the original. Obviously, I think I was going to make this one number one. But yeah, I mean, this franchise is fantastic. All of them are on Hulu, so check them out if you haven't. But yeah, I just wanted to rank these movies. I wanted to talk about them somewhere. I just had a great time watching these movies. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what movies I should talk about more. I want to talk about more movies. I've watched a bunch of movies this month. I'm going to try to watch a movie at least every day for the rest of my life, honestly, if I can. I like watching movies, and I have time. I don't do anything. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Out.